What is a hog rally? HOG stands for Harley Owners Group, which has a nominal yearly membership fee. I belong to the very active Golden Circle Hog chapter located in Jackson, Tennessee. We meet monthly and have a couple group rides every month. Harley-Davidson dealerships have many scheduled national hog rallies throughout every year. This year there will be 14 rallies throughout the U.S. The Cajun Rally will be held at the Cajun Harley-Davidson dealership located in Scott, Louisiana. It is a 3-day event scheduled for Thursday, April 7th through Saturday, April 9th. This event will have various vendors at the dealership, live music every night, free massages and pictures, along with many planned and self-guided rides. Today I'll leave Milan and head southwest to meet Jimmy in Brownsville, Tennessee. We'll leave Brownsville on Interstate 40 and catch Interstate 55 south to Jackson, Mississippi, where we'll spend the night. Today our ride will be 300 miles with 5 hours of saddle time. It had been raining on and off during the day, and there was also rain chances before we got out of Tennessee, so I suited up with rain gear. Getting myself and the bike ready for rain is always a pain. After I was suited up, I left for Brownsville around 1:30. Well, I'm off. Gonna go to McDonald's in Brownsville, hook up with Jimmy, and then we'll head on to the south part of Jackson, Mississippi. I waited a short time for Jimmy to arrive, and we rode straight through to the Marriott Courtyards on the south side of Jackson, Mississippi. We arrived around 6:30 p.m. at our hotel. After unloading our gear, we walked to the Logan's located behind the hotel for a nice dinner. The evening was uneventful, and we both were back in the room around 9 and had a good night's sleep.
I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song.
This morning we'll leave Jackson, Mississippi and head south on Highway 55. We'll stop briefly in Macomb, Mississippi, and then head south on Highway 19, where we'll finally take Highway 10 heading west to Scott, Louisiana. Today's ride will be 230 miles with 4 hours of saddle time. Jimmy and I both woke up around 4 a.m., packed, and were on the road by 5:30.
But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus?
After about an hour on the road, we both needed to make a pit stop and found a Wendy's in a small town of Macomb, Mississippi. The lights were on and we saw people inside, so we thought it may be open. We parked our bikes to go in, but found a sign on the door that said the dining room would not be open until 9 a.m. The manager at the drive-through window told us since we were on motorcycles, she'd let us in to warm up. We got into the Wendy's and ordered some coffee. They brought the coffee out to us. They were also baking some fresh cookies that were sitting out on the counter to cool. I asked if I could buy one. The next thing we knew, they brought us out a warm cookie to eat. This was no ordinary sized cookie. It was about 6 inches in diameter. They wouldn't let us pay for the coffee or the cookie and wished us a safe ride. What great ladies. Situations like this help to restore one's faith in people and highlights that there are still kind and caring people in this world. Say hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Bill. Well, there's always the time on the telephone line to talk about things to come.
These ladies gave me a free cookie and free coffee this morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That was very nice of y'all, and it made our day. It got us warmed up. Okay, thank you. My name is Bill Schreiber, and if you ever go on YouTube, look for Bill Schreiber, you'll see my face, and you'll all be on my next video. So you'll be stars. You'll be on YouTube. Okay, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Jimmy was leading the ride this morning to Scott, Louisiana, and had an idea to take a less traveled route instead of the busy Interstate 55. That's the great thing about riding a bike. You don't always take the fastest route to your destination. Often you pick routes that are scenic, less traveled, and have plenty of curves. The route that Jimmy found was a great ride with lots of nice scenery. It was a pleasant surprise. We arrived in Scott and went to our hotel. It was too early to check in, so we left our bags at the front desk and rode to the dealership. We made it to the dealer registration that started at 9 a.m. I do not know the official number of people that showed up, but guess there were around 250 that showed up for registration. I ran into Cecil and Kelly, and they mentioned they had registered for the Swamp Tour ride, which I knew nothing about. But I figured if it was good enough for them, it'd be fun and good enough for me, so I registered for the guided tour. Most of our HOG members that went to this event were already there. We all decided to go for a ride that I had planned in Ride Planner. Those that went on the ride were Jimmy, Cecil, Kelly, Kim, Gary, Jeff, Don, David, Teresa, Skip, and Donna. The route I had planned was an all-day ride, with planned stops at one of the Ride 365 50 Rides One Nation checkpoint at the Creole Nature Trail Adventure sign. We then entered into Texas for a short amount of time, and then rode along the coast and had a ferry crossing, a Harley-Davidson dealership stop in Lake Charles, Louisiana, with a dinner stop at Daryl's Po' Boys. We then headed back to the Cajun Harley-Davidson dealership for the evening's festivities. It was a windy day, but any day you get to ride is a good day. When we arrived at the Creole Nature Trail checkpoint, we took our pictures in front of the sign to get credit for the 50 Rides One Nation checkpoint. The staff at the store was very friendly, and one of the ladies that worked there came out unsolicited to take a group picture for us and to teach us some Cajun dialect.
So now you're in Louisiana country, everybody says, "Ah-ee!
Yes!
Comment ça va, chat?"
Yeah, absolutely what she said.
Says, "How y'all doing?" So come on, comment ça va, chat?
While we were in the store, someone said they saw an alligator chewing the tire of a BMW motorcycle. Cecil immediately ran out of the store and took care of that situation. The Creole Nature store gave us all goodie bags loaded with free items. I'm a sucker for free stuff.
Well, I went to bed in Memphis and I woke up in Hollywood. I got a quarter in my pocket and I'd call you if I could, but I don't know why I gotta fly. I wanna rock and roll this party, I still wanna have some fun. I wanna leave you feeling breathless. I gotta fly. I gotta fly. Like Steve McQueen, all I need's a fast machine. I'm gonna make it alive. Like Steve McQueen, underneath your radar screen, you'll never catch me tonight. I ain't taking shit off no one, baby, that was yesterday. I'm an all-American rebel, making my big getaway. Yeah, you know it's time. I gotta fly. Like Steve McQueen, all I need's a fast machine, and I'm gonna make it alright. Like Steve McQueen, underneath your radar screen, you'll never catch me tonight. We got rock stars in the White House, and all our pop stars look like porn. All our heroes hit the highway, 'cause they don't hang out here no more. You can try me on my cell phone, you can page me all night long, but you won't catch this free bird, I'll already be long gone. Like Steve McQueen, all he needs a fast machine, and we're gonna make it alright. Like Steve McQueen, underneath your radar screen, you'll never catch us tonight. Steve McQueen, all we need's a fast machine, and we're gonna ride it away.
Once we got to the crossing, we only had to wait about 15 minutes for the ferry to arrive. I asked about the cost of the ride for the ferry. I was told it was $1.50 if you were crossing from the other side to where we were, but free for the direction we were headed. You can't make that stuff up. It was a windy and gusty day, but the temperature was great. The ferry ride was about 15 minutes long.
Men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay, rolled off of their ship
We made a quick stop at Lake Charles Harley-Davidson dealership and then headed to our dinner destination, Daryl's Po' Boys. Lake Charles has a population of about 72,000 people and is known for gambling, rhythm and blues music, and excellent cuisine. The city is a primary petrochemical refining area and features casino gambling. Dinner gave us a chance to rest after a good long day of riding and to enjoy each other's company. Everyone thought the food was okay, but nothing to write home about. We got back on the road and headed to the Cajun Harley-Davidson dealership. The sun was disappearing from the sky and the temperature dropped to a pleasant 70 degrees. It was getting dark by the time we arrived at the dealership. We didn't spend much time at the dealership tonight as we were tired and ready to head back to our rooms. Tomorrow, Kim, David, Teresa, Jimmy, Cecil, Kelly, Skip, and Donna plan to take the Jambalaya bike run at 8:30 in the morning. It is a guided ride which will take the group on scenic roads with a couple of stops where they will be able to enjoy free samples of jambalaya. After the jambalaya tour, they plan to participate in a scavenger hunt, which will take them to 10 different locations in surrounding towns where they can find answers to 10 questions. They can then turn in their booklet of answers to receive a nice Cajun Harley token. Today, a smaller group of us will ride to the Tabasco manufacturing plant. This route will take us to Avery Island and then back to the dealership. Today's ride will be 100 miles with 3 hours of saddle time. Jeff, Don, Gary, Bill M., and I met at the Holiday Inn Express at 10:30 this morning. Jeff planned to lead the ride, while his wife Dawn was going to provide sweep for us in her car.
Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
It was a nice ride to the island. The last part of the ride to the plant was gravel, but well packed and not much of an issue.
He will surely pay his.
You need to talk to Gary about that.
I'm talking to
Or
Jeff Johnson. He doesn't know what he's going to have to do to make this up.
We are but a moment's of light, fading in the grass.
Dawn made a good call for us to eat lunch first, as there was a long line out the door as we finished our meal. We ate at the 1868 restaurant located on the grounds of the island. The food and service was good and reasonably priced.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right.
We visited the museum that explains some of the history of Avery Island and the Tabasco business. Avery Island is home to one of the world's most beautifully preserved nature sanctuaries. Alligators, deer, armadillos, bears, squirrels, and bobcats can be seen wandering around the grounds. The Tabasco plant is a family-owned business founded by the McElhaney family. The Tabasco pepper sauce has been made at this location for over 150 years.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
We learned one of the reasons they selected this site for manufacturing is for the salt mines on the island, which they mine for their own use in making of the Tabasco sauce. We took a self-guided tour of its manufacturing facility. We saw their blending room where they mixed all their ingredients in large vats. They were running production on the assembly line, which we were able to observe. They aged their Tabasco sauce in their own white oak barrels for up to 3 years.
Holding your trembling hand,
As we finished the tour, we visited their country store and bought a few things, and sat outside in the shade for a while to visit before we got back on the road to the dealership. We hung out at the dealership for a while before deciding to go eat dinner. We found a place to eat dinner called Uncle T's Oyster Bar that was only about a mile from the dealership and had good Yelp ratings. We had a great time visiting and enjoying each other's company. The food and service were both very good. After we finished eating, we headed back to the dealership and visited for a while. It was a beautiful evening and the dealership had a live band playing on their stage. Bill M. was planning to leave Louisiana this morning to make the long trip back home to Tennessee, while Jimmy was planning to participate in the Passport to Freedom ride, where he'll take selfies at 10 memorial locations in various surrounding towns for a rally token. The remainder of our group, David, Teresa, Skip, Donna, Cecil, Kelly, Kim, and I rode to the dealership at 8:30 this morning to participate in the guided swamp tour. It was a nice, cool, sunny morning.
Morning. Hope everybody's good. We're about to get wet.
We received instructions how to get to the dock and forewarned about the gravel and grass we would encounter at the entrance of the boat docking area. It was a little tricky, but not too bad. Today we'll ride from the dealership to Lake Bijou, take a guided boat tour, eat lunch, and ride back to the dealership. Today's ride will be 72 miles with 2 hours of saddle time. You couldn't have asked for a nicer sunny morning. We of course had to take some pictures and visit for a while. We checked in and had to sign waivers due to the potential dangers of the wildlife we could encounter. Interview time. What are you expecting today?
Well, after the morning we've had, I'm expected to be eaten by alligators. Alligators.
Alligator?
Yes, Cecil said, I'm beginning to think maybe it's meant we weren't meant to go on this thing. Maybe that's why everything's been going wrong this morning.
You're here. You're meant to
They
go.
said we're either going to sink or get eaten by alligators.
After about a 30-minute wait, we were herded onto the flat-bottom boat. Our tour guide, named Skip, was great. He talked the entire time non-stop and was very knowledgeable about the area and had a very quick wit. I believe once the tour ended, he could have kept talking for several more hours.
Now your seats aren't bolted down.
Oh, they're not. Y'all expect anything special today to happen?
No.
No, the bait's up front.
Hey, all right.
In case of emergencies, oxygen mask will fall from the ceiling. No, okay. Everybody signed that waiver, right? So when you sign the waiver, you're worried about the snakes, you're worried about the alligators. We have a carp that jumps right now, Asian carp. I don't know if y'all have those back home. It's 4 carp species that are invasive. 2 of them jump, 1 of them's 50 pounds. Guess which one we got? Yeah, snot rockets, man. 50-pound snot rockets. Sometimes they jump in the boat and sometimes they hit the people right along the side. So just a heads up, man. The I-10 Basin Bridge. Construction on this bridge was started in 1962, completed in 1973. It took them 11 years to finish it. It's 18.2 miles long. This is the 4th largest bridge spanning water in the U.S. Number 3 is the Pontchartrain in New Orleans. Number 2 and number 1 are in the Florida Keys. Approximately 55,000 cars cross this bridge every day. Each one of the pillars that you see had to be sunk 95 foot through the swamp mud. Then 6 more feet when they hit straight of sand. Below that, there is no bedrock in Louisiana, y'all. It's the suction of the sand that holds these pillars in place. But it's a neat picture. As you look through, the pillars haven't budged since 73. This is the best road in South Louisiana, but that ain't saying much. Texas, you know what I'm talking about. You cross that state line, it's like going back in time, boy.
We were coming in Thursday. I saw.
We'll have some other chances to get some pictures as well.
On the side.
Check out the high water mark. So that's how high the water's going to be by the end of summertime. Think about that over 1.4 million acres. It's a lot of water. Well, the whole 18.2 miles was cleared by hand, by a generation much tougher than mine or the ones that come after mine, boy. All the pieces were shipped here from New Orleans over the course of 4 days per shipment, and all the pillars were sunk passively. They did not bring a pile driver. They would take road sections and stack them on top of the pillars until they reached the desired depth. Fill it with concrete, put another one on top, and repeat the process. Over 1.4 million acres, they have a lot more opportunity. We have a lot more of these solids.
I don't think he cares.
Y'all, the spikes on their back are called scutes, S-C-U-T-E-S, and those are like solar panel chargers. So they have to have sunlight to digest their food. All of those spikes are attached to the tree. And there you go.
Oh.
That's all right. That's good.
Their eyes have 2 lids.
They have a nictitating membrane, a second set of eyelids that closes when they bite down, just like a shark. Dude, it's okay. It's just us now. We can let our hair down. Come see, Joe.
There's something flopping over there. I can hear something over in the. Can you see?
Go ahead, scratch
coming
this.
right up here?
There's another one up in the
I'm looking for at least 2 more, y'all.
They out there.
Does anybody know what you call a group of alligators, like a gaggle of geese, a murder of crows? It's a congregation. A congregation. Come on. Come on. Closer, closer.
Are you getting pictures? I can't see him now. Oh, there he goes.
I'm through with standing in line to clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs and a bathroom I can play baseball in and a king-size tub big.
After the tour, we rode a few miles to eat at the Crawfish Town, USA. The food was good, but the service had a little bit to be desired. It was a nice place to eat, and we enjoyed the outdoor dining area as we were having great weather.
37,000 feet. Been done. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars. Mine star on night.
Get with Don. Let me get a picture of y'all.
That's going to cost you.
Hey, you don't have to pay me anything for it.
I told him, I said, no, it's not like Sons of Anarchy.
That's not how it works.
That's not.
Act like you like each other.
No.
We rode from the restaurant back to the dealership and arrived around 3 in the
Driving
afternoon.
15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come.
The afternoon was pretty warm, in the low 80s, and we spent most of our time in the shade. Later in the evening, it cooled off to a very nice 70 degrees. There was a lot of entertainment planned for the last night and closing ceremony. This was by far my favorite evening at the dealership. Everyone in our group was having a good time, relaxing and letting their hair down.
Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy Mansion. Gonna date a centerfold that loves to blow my money for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars and VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with the bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I'm gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna pop my pills from a Pez dispenser. Get washed up singers writing all my songs. Lip sync them every night so I don't get them wrong. Well, we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars and the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Our group rode to Uncle T's Oyster Bar for dinner. It was about an hour wait for our dinner party, so we were able to sit outside, have a few drinks, and visit. What a great way to wind down after several days of good hard riding. The food and service were great again.
Down to elevate and leave a flickering screen. But nothing is compromised, nothing's lost.
I got back to the room around 9 p.m., wanting to get a good night's sleep to prepare for our departure at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Nothing's crossed. But don't let it pass.
Today, Jimmy and I will travel east to Interstate 10 to Highway 61 into Natchez, Mississippi, where we'll stop at the Natchez Trace Parkway checkpoint. We'll leave from there and continue to travel north on Highway 61 into Jackson, Mississippi. We'll leave Jackson heading north on Interstate 55 into Memphis, Tennessee. From there, we'll take I-40 to our homes. Today's ride will be 566 miles with 9 hours of saddle time. We woke up around 4 a.m. and we were on the road by 5. Jimmy asked earlier in the week if I wanted to divert our route home to catch the 50 Rides One Nation checkpoint at the Natchez Trace Parkway in Natchez, Mississippi. This was something I assumed he wanted to do as he's a serious collector of these tokens. I told him that'd be fine as it only added an hour to our travel time. After we reached the checkpoint, Jimmy took my picture at the marker. I was prepared to do the same for him, but he surprised me by telling me that he had already completed this one. Apparently, I just assumed he wanted to go there to get credit for the stop. Turns out he was just doing it for me. What an awesome person. We both made it home safely. Later in the day, our GroupMe correspondence indicated that all our HOG chapter members made it home safely. Overall, Jimmy and I each had over 1,600 miles on our bikes for the 5 days. There are so many things I'm thankful for during these 5 days, but must give God all the praise. I want to thank my wife for her support for this hobby of mine. Thank you to my Golden Circle Hog family for their camaraderie and great times at this rally. I want to also thank each of you for your tolerance of me continually sticking my camera in your face during this event. Thank you, Jimmy, for safely leading us to and from the rally. You picked some awesome roads to ride. Lastly, I want to thank the Cajun Harley-Davidson dealership for a well-run and organized event with something to enjoy for everybody. I know our HOG chapter had loads of fun and are looking forward to next year's event.